The bullet journal. It's an incredibly popular analog note-taking system. It combines the elements of a planner, a journal and a to-do list, and it took the internet by storm. It was created by Ryder Carrol, and he talks you through it in this awesome little book, The Bullet Journal Method. Carrol struggled with ADD and he wanted a simple system of capturing his thoughts and tasks, so he began experimenting and eventually created what has become the bullet journal. It took the productivity world by storm. Just Google bullet journal or Bujo and you will see loads of different variations that all have their own take and look really cool. So quickly, it's based on a simple system of symbols and notation. A small dot is used to indicate a task, a circle is used for an event and a dash is used for a note. You then use different symbols to indicate the status of each item. I've gone back to the system loads of times and each time I do, I get a real boost in my productivity. There's something so gratifying about ticking off a major task on your to-do list. But it suffers from the same problem as so many other productivity tools. You can get so lost in building the system to make yourself productive that you actually lose the time you could have spent doing the actual task you need to complete. Now this is even worse with the bullet journal because each page requires setup. You have to actually pull out your ruler and build the page before you can start using it. Well, the iPad solves this completely because once you've built your bespoke pages, you can duplicate them endlessly. And I also found that whenever I was using a notepad, I would inevitably make a mistake or find something I wanted to add in where I hadn't originally built in a space. It would end up taking what was a clean, simple look and making it messy, which I found genuinely upsetting. But once again, digital comes in clutch because the iPad completely solves that. The addition of an undo button and a virtual eraser is completely game-changing. Your system will look clean and simple once again. So what do you need to do and how do you do it? Well, I recommend you start with the iPad, the Apple Pencil and the app Goodnotes 5. Goodnotes 5 is a great app with really good tools for writing with the Apple Pencil. Now it does come with a small fee, but genuinely it's cheaper than buying one notepad, and that is a lifetime fee. You can use it as much as you want. The process of setting up each page is so simple. Gone are the days of using a ruler. Now you can just grab your Apple Pencil, draw your lines as roughly as you want, then hold down the pencil at the end and they will snap into place as the perfect line. Should you want to move anything or resize it, then just draw around it with the lasso tool and move it into its new position. It's so easy. The first page you want to build is your index. This will be a live page and you'll constantly update it. I make it page 1 of my journal. Here I include a key in case I forget what any of the symbols mean, and then I list the pages in my journal so that I can know where to navigate to. Goodnotes 5 is a really simple way of jumping to any page, so you can use threading to make it really simple to navigate. Next, you want to build your future log. This is a really simple, quick view of any major events that are coming up in the year ahead. Next, build your monthly log. This will be a 1 or 2 page spread with any events or tasks for your month ahead. This will be your first port of call for the month ahead. I usually build a year of these out ahead of time so I can quickly jot down anything important I might need to come to later. Next, build your daily log. This is going to be your workhorse, where you're going to spend most of your time. You want it streamlined to rapid log any tasks for the day. Each day, just write the date in, then begin building your to-do list. It's a really good way of decluttering your mind by building that second brain. Now, the important thing here is that as you begin each day, you need to first move back to your previous day and clear your log. Each task must be actioned. If it's completed, then cross it out. If it's not completed, then is it now irrelevant because of something else that's happened? Then just cross the whole thing through. If it's not completed but it's still important, then you need to migrate it to the next day, in which case you just mark it with a little arrowhead. When you're starting your new to-do list, these are the first tasks that should go in, and it gives you really good insight into how you should be planning your day. Are you continually putting things off because you just don't want to get round to them? Well, maybe you should start actioning these things. This process of reflection is where you see massive impacts to your time. You will improve your productivity through increased intentionality. The amazing thing about bullet journals is that there's no firm rules. Each person's journal will be their own. Just Google them and you will see these really elaborate creative designs. Mine personally is always really simple, minimalist and utilitarian. That works for me, but both examples are correct. You do you. Once you've built your pages, then we need to start adding in the data. Just hit the 3 dots in the top right corner and press copy page. This original page will be your template. We then need to navigate to wherever you want it to go in your journal, then hit the plus icon and press paste page. This will then insert a template of your page and all of the headache is gone. That doesn't mean you can't change the setups or make them more creative in the future should you want to. Just use that template as a starting point, and each time you're happy with your new revision, just make that your new template. The writing experience in Goodnotes 5 is really good. There's not too much smoothing, but it's reactive to the way you use the Apple Pencil. There's some optional pages you might want to include to really kick things up a gear. The first is the mental inventory. Now this is a page to write down what you have been working on, what you should be working on, and what you want to work on. Really useful to get your goals in place and prioritize. Now you might not want to do this every day, but it's a good thing to come back to every now and then. Just make sure you're honest with yourself. You can focus on your goals and things that are actually going to progress you further and become aware of how your time is actually spent. This is a great process that brings mindfulness through increased awareness of the present. Lots of people like to use habit trackers, simple systems to track your goals for each individual day. Do you want to get to the gym 4 days a week? Do you want to drink more water? Do you want to read for 30 minutes each day? Well, whatever the goal, write it down and track it. Now it can come in a number of forms, from a simple list with an X next to each day, or elaborate colourful grids with fancy designs. Again, you do you. Another optional page is the gratitudes page. Now I'll be honest, this is never something I personally did. I always felt a little bit silly about the idea, but that probably says more about me than it does about the process itself. What Carrol suggests is that you log any events or actions throughout your day that make you feel grateful. It is absolutely true that having a gratitude process has been shown to have an impact on your mental health and your relationships. This can take any form, from elaborate pages to brainstorms to, again, a simple list. Here, once again, the iPad can become a winner. Make this one of the first pages in your journal and it can become a live page. You can add or remove things as your mood changes, and it gives you a constant reminder of all the great things in your life. You can even use the Goodnotes ability to insert an image to create a visual collage of the good things that have happened to you. Now, with all that's been said, there are still some small downsides to using a digital journal. We lose that analog magic. Carrol says that when we put pen to paper, we're not just turning on the lights, we're turning up the heat. Writing by hand helps you think and feel simultaneously. Now, I would argue that using the Apple Pencil still gives you that feel. You just want to make the process as streamlined as you can. Another downside is that notebooks were chosen by Carrol as a remedy to the world of distraction. That's a world that we're walking headfirst into when we pick up the iPad. To combat this, I say make this a scheduled part of your day. Do it first thing, and as soon as you start, hit that focus mode and turn off all your other apps. This is now you and your bullet journal get the task done. You can even create shortcuts that take you direct to your first page and minimize any possible distractions along the way. So there you have it. That is how I've taken my bullet journal to the next level. I'd love to know your thoughts. Have you ever tried bullet journaling? Would you be open to trying it in this digital format? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, a like would be appreciated, and a sub to the channel would be completely amazing. I'd love to see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.